Hello everyone, welcome to this video lecture, and today we are going to see that how to trade in Nifty 50 options or future and how to trade in Bank Nifty options and future. So we have diagnosed an algorithm per se, that what are the ways to find out how to trade in Nifty exactly. It works something like this. First, you analyze what was the historical chart of for every day. You keep a track on everyday historical chart of 1 day chart. Then you analyze some futures, US futures. What happened in US futures? What happened in S&P? What happened in Nasdaq? Or what happened in Dow? You also keep track of the crypto, which are risk assets, and what are they behaving like. You also keep track of benchmarks, Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq, Russell 2000 as well. And some bit of you keep in mind what's happening in VIX, US VIX and India VIX as well. I'm gonna go to till the algorithm, but first just get to know the basics. So we have kept in mind about a global percentage happening. We have kept in mind of daily chart, what had happened. Now comes weightage stocks. Nifty indices work on these 8 or 10, how many of there are, these stocks at the most. Like 66% of it is controlled by these stocks, and rest are small caps and medium caps and some micro caps also. But 66% of the weightage goes to these 10 stocks. So you have to analyze the price action of these stocks, historical charts, and you have to analyze the volume and OI interest, open interest. I'm gonna come to these as well. First, let's see what is the price action that's happening. So the largest is HDFC Bank. You can clearly see HDFC Bank is consolidating and it's not performing very vividly. And there is also resistance points in open interest, and large positions are made in the sell side because of huge call OI data. So that's one negative for us. Let's mark the algorithm as well. Largest player is HDFC Bank. We will give it 3 points out of 10, and it is consolidating, so that's why we will point 1 out of 3. Next comes ICICI Bank. How it is performing, we'll score it. So ICICI Bank is in really great uptrend, and you can clearly see that the OI interest is also towards the buy side. Call OI is greater right now because of what happened in US futures, also what happened in intraday markets. But still, we'll point it out that it's in great uptrend. So we'll note it as 1.5 out of 3. You have to score them, you have to give them a score. Reliance, which had really nice results, and Reliance is also in an uptrend. We'll point out that as 2.5 out of 3. Next comes Bharti Airtel. Bharti Airtel is consolidating at the higher time frame, but in 1 hour charts you can see that there are sell positions. Like for example here at 1900 there is call OI of 32,000, 32 lakh. So we'll point it as, you can also have negative positions, but still would give it a 0.5 percent points out of 3. 3 is for weighted stocks. 3 points are for weighted stocks. SVN is alright, facing a resistance point, but that can come into short short coverings. We'll give it a 2. Larsen and Tobro, very downfall, very huge downfall, and sell positions mostly. So we'll give it a negative. Infosys picking up the pace now, finally above moving averages, and this can turn into as short covering later. So we'll give it as, you have to judge the trend of the weighted stock. Trend is still good, so 1.5 out of 3. Axis Bank is consolidating largely, and moving averages confirm the downward trend it had faced, but less sell positions as compared to as NP or LT. 1 out of 3. ITC is now facing upward direction momentum, and we'll still give it a 1. Kotak Bank. Kotak Bank was consolidating and now moving upwards finally. One out of 3. So we have one negative, which is LT, and rest are almost positive. But consolidation is the factor that we are getting from weighted stocks. Conclusion: consolidation or negative bias. Rest factors are judging the open interest, OI data, and some positional checkup. So for positional checkup, we go to open interest data and we see which is the resistance point, which is the support area. So we can see that 24,200 has huge put writing that comes as a support. And we can see that at 24,500 there is huge call writing, and also at 24,400 there is some bit of call writing. At the level which is trading at, which is 24,300, it is going binomial and it is having support side and as well as some resistance. So overall conclusion is that it is facing both kinds of trades, and upcoming is consolidation. OI data, conclusion, 24,200 support, rest upon resistance and consolidation. This carries 3 points and we will give it as 1 out of 3. So 6 points are done for Nifty, trading in Nifty. The other 2 points are being judged by sectoral rotation. So we first start with Nifty 500 and we have a look at Nifty 500's price action. We can only judge a sector through price action, or it going down below, it can go to particular stocks, weighted stocks of those sector. So if anyone has to do a thorough research, you can do it that way. So Nifty 500 was behaving historically very good. Price action is really positive. So that's the largest point. Nifty Bank is also having nice historical chart. Nifty IT, a bit of resistance at the top. Nifty Auto, consolidating at the top. Nifty Pharma faced a rejection after a huge trending environment for it. FMCG is also consolidating. Realty had the pace going on, but now is in rejection mode. Sensex, we do not have to consider. MNC is somewhat facing downtrend. Metals got their pace going on. PSU Bank is consolidating. Why I judged the 5-minute chart on this is because I wanted to have the clear picture of intraday movements. Anyone can take 1 hour chart or anyone can take 1 day chart as well. Energy, downward trend, momentum. In service, just like Bank Nifty, and total market index is also positive. So sectoral points, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 2, sorry. Conclusion, recent momentum is positive in most. Last comes the for 2 points, so it will be a complete 10 is global. So global, you have a tool judging the intraday or basic charts of futures of US. So this is Nasdaq 100 future, and you can see there was a huge movement towards downside, and there was volume rejection. So this is one. S&P futures and Nasdaq futures go head to head, and you can see there is a downtrend momentum in this as well. Dow futures, M by M, They are also facing downward momentum but consolidating at the support level. Global is for these three sectors will give 0 out of 5. They do not make sense to us. The rest 5 points are on gold, silver, and crude the most. Crude carries 1.5 points, and silver and gold carry 1.5 points each. So this algorithm is completed this way. Anyone can frame it into a complete strategy, or if they want, they can have it done by ChatGPT to be planted on a trading view chart, Pine script code. So gold is positive. Now, crude oil being positive or negative is in inverse relationship with Nifty because India imports most of its crude oil, and that can be a price point movement for the future. So this is how crude is behaving at 1 hour chart. That's why most of the futures in US also fell, and overall US global outrage is negative for us today. Will give minus 2.5 out of 5. Now your task is to give weightage to each of these things and calculate the ultimate score out of 10. I'm gonna give it to you. It's behavioral psychology, not extreme maths. Thank you for watching. I shall see you soon.